So to continue in Unit 1 about the biological anatomy and the dissection of the body regarding psychology and its relation to psychology, we're going to start with studying the brain and how the brain functions regarding receiving sensory information or motor information from the outside world, and how all of this affects our behavior as a response. So here we have to study the brain. If you want to study the brain, we have the following procedures. The first one is accidents, lesions, and lesions mean destruction or removal of a part or parts of the brain. Okay, so if you want to study the brain, we can first of all examine and investigate the accidents and lesions. Okay, and what does it look at the structure or the function of the brain? So it looks at the function of the brain. So if you want to investigate the lesions or the accidents, in this case we are more concerned about the function rather than the structure of the brain. The second one, which is the EEG, okay, EEG actually it's a scan for the brain, and we scan the brain electronically, let's say electronically, in order to study and investigate the function of the brain. This is in regards of EEG. For the CAT, the CAT, or the computerized axial tomography, it's concerned, or it investigates the structure of the brain, not the function. So if I want to combine between two methods, between the functionality of the brain and the structuralism of the brain, so I have to look for specific tools of investigation, like for example, EEG, it deals with the function. Lesions and accidents also deal with the function. And here, when it comes to the CAT only investigates and examines the structure of the brain. So we need to have a blend of two tools of investigation if we want to deal with the structure and the function of the brain, like the EEG, for example, as examining the functionality of the brain, and the CAT if you want to examine the structuralism of the brain. Moving now to the MRI, it's all known by everybody. The MRI is magnetic resonance imaging, okay, and it also it's used to investigate and examine the structure of the brain. The fifth type, which is the positron emissions tomography, which is the PET. The PET deals with the function also of the brain, like the EEG and the lesions or the accidents, ways of investigations or tools of investigations. The last one is the fMRI. The fMRI deals with both the structure and the function of the brain. So in a synopsis, or in a nutshell, the way or the method of investigation that we have to use in order to study the brain is inflected by or governed by the purpose, which means if I want to investigate or examine the functionality of the brain, the function of the brain, I should look for the EEG and the PET, and at the same time the fMRI. If I want to look for